Howdy there, welcome back to the channel. I'm Evan, or EJ, you can call me either one. As of yesterday, as of recording this, yesterday the Transformers Rise of the Beast trailer released, and I figured I should talk about it, give my thoughts on it, talk about my expectations for the movie, all that. Let's get into it. So when the trailer starts, the first character that's shown is Optimus Primal, in his beast form, and I gotta say, for his first live-action debut, he looks awesome. I really like the way his beast form is designed. I know it's just like a robotic gorilla, but it still looks really cool. I like his voice a lot. I know he's being voiced by Ron Perlman in this, and not Gary Chalk like he was in the cartoon, and that kind of has a bunch of people upset, which I would have preferred it if they had hired Gary Chalk for it, but I think Ron Perlman sounds good as the character, so I'm not too mad about it. I used to watch season 1 of Beast Wars all the time as a kid. I had it on DVD, and I always really wanted to see the Maximals in live action, so it's really great to finally see them being put in a live action Transformers movie. I never thought I was ever going to see that, so it's really cool. Yeah, Optimus Primal looks great so far. And then immediately after Optimus Primal, Optimus Prime jumps into frame, and he looks great. I really like his design. I'm glad that they're finally using a more G1-esque design for Optimus, because it just looks so much cleaner than most of his Michael Bay designs. I don't hate the design from the first 3 movies. I think it's a solid adaptation of Optimus, but you just can't beat the G1 look. Although something I noticed is that I only noticed this for Optimus Prime. His CGI looks a little bit weird. Like, something about him looks a little bit off, but I can't quite place exactly what it is. It's not like terrible. It doesn't look like awful or anything, but it's just kind of odd. But for the most part, I think he looks good. I'm really excited to see him in this movie again. Returning to my point about the CGI, I know the movie still has like 7 or 8 months before it releases, so I'm sure they'll like touch up on it and make sure it looks good whenever the movie comes out. So I'll reserve all my judgments for when that actually happens. But just as of right now in the trailer, he just looks a little bit, I don't know, just off, and I can't quite describe what it is about it. And then in the trailer we see Mirage, and he looks really cool. I'm really excited to see him. Although I'm a little upset that they made him a Porsche in this movie, because that's normally what Jazz is supposed to be, and Jazz is like one of my favorite Transformers. I know they couldn't make Mirage what he used to be in the cartoons because he was an F1 car, and those aren't like street legal. But they could have picked like any other car, man. Why'd you have to go with the Porsche? But yeah, other than that, I'm not too mad about it. He looks awesome. I'm very excited to see him in this movie. The last time we got, I think Dino from Transformers 3 was supposed to be Mirage, but like, he didn't look anything like him, he didn't sound anything like him, and he didn't act anything like him, so I just consider him a separate character altogether. It was really a weird thing, but in this he does look really awesome, so I'm excited for that. I do like Bumblebee's new design a lot. I know it's basically just the design from the end of the Bumblebee movie, but with a few like minor tweaks here and there. But still, I think it does look really good. I like his vehicle form. I think Bumblebee is kind of going to die in this movie, because he's not in a lot of the trailer. And there is a scene later in the trailer that kind of suggests it. I'll get to that later, because I'm doing a play-by-play of it. But, yeah, I think Bumblebee might be screwed in this one, I can't lie. And going back to talking about Optimus Prime again, it's always nice to hear Peter Cullen return for this role, because, like, there's no one better for it. Like, his voice is perfect for Optimus Prime. He is so good in this role. I think it's been like 4 years since the last time we heard him as Optimus Prime, so it's really great hearing him back. He sounds great in the trailer. I like Optimus's design. I'm very excited to see him back. There's a shot in the trailer where Bumblebee he's been upgraded a little bit. He has like off-road tires and like a light bar on him, but that's not what I want to talk about. Cheetor from Beast Wars is running next to him, and he looks awesome. First of all, in the lead up to this movie, I was worried that the Maximals weren't going to have very much color in them. I was worried that they were just going to be more like big gray blobs of metal running around on screen. But Cheetor is actually like a yellow color, and I'm so happy about that. Also, he's massive, which I think is a cool choice. He's very big compared to Bumblebee, but I think it looks awesome. We don't get a look at his robot form. We just see him as a cheetah, but that's enough for me. He looks great. Then immediately after that shot of Cheetor and Bumblebee, we get a look at Airazor, who's actually being voiced by Michelle Yeoh, which I think is really cool. I loved her in Everything Everywhere All at Once, which came out earlier this year. I think it's really cool that she's voicing Airazor. Also, Airazor can breathe fire, apparently, so that's really cool. We don't see much of her in the trailer aside from that one shot, but it looked really awesome, so I'm excited to see her too. Then after that, we get a look at Arcee's design, and honestly, she might have my favorite design out of most of the characters in this movie, which I wasn't expecting at all. I really like I like the red on top of the pink. Normally she's like all pink in the movie. She was in Bumblebee anyway. But now she's got like a bit of red on her, and I think that looks really nice. I think you get a close-up shot of her face, and I think just everything, her design looks great. I think she looks awesome. She's also like skating next to this VW bus, which I'll talk about in a minute, and I think that's cool that she can like skate on her wheels while she's in robot form. That's really cool. So I'm excited to see her too. Almost forgot to mention that Arcee is being voiced by Liza Koshy, who, if you don't know, she's a YouTuber who I kind of forgot about for a long time, which, you know, I don't know, maybe she could be a decent voice actor, but that's an interesting choice. Again, I'll reserve judgment until I actually see the movie, or at least hear a clip of Arcee speaking, but that's a weird decision. Now moving on, that VW bus that I mentioned in the previous clip, it's not stated in the trailer and you never see him transform, but that's actually Wheeljack, who I'm very excited to see because Wheeljack might be my favorite Autobot out of everyone. I love his design in like the G1 stuff. I hated his design in the Bayverse. He looked bizarre. But most of the time, I think he looks really cool. I like his personality. I think it's interesting that they're making him a VW bus, because normally he's like a sports car. But, you know, I'm all for like different designs for characters as long as they look cool. I kind of wish we had seen what his robot mode looks like, because like that's one of the things I was looking forward to while waiting for the trailer. But I'm not too mad about it. I'm sure we'll probably see him at some point in the second trailer, and if not, I'll just wait for the movie. But yeah, I'm very excited to see him. I don't know who's voicing him, so there's that. Now moving on, after that clip of Arcee and Wheeljack, we see the villain of the movie, Scourge, and he looks awesome. I heard that he's being voiced by Peter Dinklage, which I really like that casting choice. I love Peter Dinklage in pretty much everything he's in, so, you know, anytime he gets added to something I was already interested in, I see that as a bonus. But the fact that he's playing the villain has me really excited. Now, also in this clip of Scourge, he's got his back facing the camera, and Bumblebee like runs up to him to attack him, but then he turns around and just stabs Bumblebee, and it goes right through him. And Bumblebee is not in any of the group shots in the rest of the trailer, so that's mostly why I think Bumblebee is kind of just dead meat in this movie. I think he's not making it to the end of this, or at least he's going to be critically injured for like the last half of it, so I think there's going to be significantly less Bumblebee than like any other Transformers movie. We also get a very brief shot of Rhinox, who he looks great. We only see him in his Rhino form again. That seems to be a theme with most of the Maximals in this trailer. But from what I saw, I think he looks great. I'm very excited to see him in a movie too, because whenever I was watching Beast Wars, whenever I used to have that DVD, Rhinox was my favorite of the bunch. I just really liked his design. I thought he was cool. So I'm very excited to see him. I don't remember who's voicing him either, but I think he shares of the voice actor for Battletrap in this movie, who I'll talk about in a little bit. But that's interesting. It kind of makes me think that Battletrap's not going to have very much of a speaking role in it, the fact that they're both sharing the same voice actor. Or maybe they will and he just puts on two very different voices, but I doubt Battletrap's going to speak much throughout this. And speaking of Battletrap, throughout the trailer, every shot of him, he looks really cool. I like his vehicle mode. I don't really know anything about this character. I don't ever remember seeing him in any of the cartoons growing up. I don't know what he used to look like. I don't know literally anything about the character, but just from this trailer alone, he looks really cool. I can't wait to see him. I think he's supposed to be like Scourge's second in command or something like that, or just kind of like the muscle for the villains of the movie. So that'll be interesting to see. Now, there was also a brief shot near the end of the trailer where we see Optimus Primal running into battle with everybody, and he like transforms, and his robot mode looks awesome. I was kind of worried about the way his robot mode was going to look, but I think he looks great. The only real complaint I have with the design so far is that I wish there was a bit more color, like maybe some blue on the top of his head or something, because in the Beast Wars show, he is like red and blue in some parts of him, but the color missing doesn't bother me that much because I still think he looks great. Also, you see it very, very briefly. It's like a blink and you'll miss it thing, but he has his swords from Beast Wars, which I think is really cool because I always thought those swords looked awesome in the cartoon, so I'm excited to see those make a debut in live action. I'm very excited for Optimus Primal in this movie. I think he's going to be awesome. And now also there's that shot at the very end of the trailer, or that moment where Dominique Fishback's character, I don't know her character's name, sorry, is like, this can't be real, and then she looks over at RC, and RC just kind of waves at her. I thought that was a nice moment. It was a funny little thing to end the trailer off on. I'm very excited to see like the relationship between the two human characters and the Autobots in this movie. I know a lot of people hate whenever human characters are in the Transformers movie, but I don't mind as long as they're not like the main focus and they're enjoyable, like they're fun characters. That's why I liked Charlie from Bumblebee. I thought she was a good character. Yeah, I thought that was just a very nice moment to end the trailer off on altogether. I almost forgot to mention that one shot in the trailer where Mirage is driving forward, and then he starts transforming and he slides to the side, and then Anthony Ramos's character like hops out of him as he's transforming. That was really cool. That was like one of my favorite moments from the trailer. I thought it looked awesome. You get a brief look at Mirage's robot form. You don't get a great look at it. It's very short. But from what I could see, I think he looks awesome. It doesn't look super G1 accurate, but I'm not really complaining because I still think it looks like a good design. I've heard that Mirage is supposed to be kind of like the main Autobot of the movie, like how Bumblebee normally is. But, I don't know exactly how true that is because I've also heard it's Optimus, so it could end up going either way. But I'm very excited to see him in this movie. Something I think is a little bizarre is that Pete Davidson is voicing him, which I'm not in love with that casting choice, but again, I'll reserve judgments until I see the movie, because for all I know, Pete Davidson could have a hidden talent of voice acting, but I kind of doubt it, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think that's pretty much, that's all I've got to say about the trailer. I'm very excited for this movie. I really hope it's good. My heart cannot take another bad Transformers movie, because before I was into like Marvel and DC and all this other kind of nerdy stuff, I was a Transformers kid from day one, and I need this movie to be good. I really do. If it's not, I'll be so sad, man. But yeah, I think that's about all I've got to say today. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment, please subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you don't want to miss my next upload. That's about all I got for today. See ya.